Good morning, everybody, and welcome to today's episode of Market Check, our final show of the week that you've all had, if nothing else, an entertaining week. In markets, obviously, quite a bit has happened from FOMC to the jobs print today to lots of volatile price action pretty much across the board, definitely in crypto. But welcome, guys. I'm Snorlax. You also know me as Tommy. I'm joined by Max, Tucker, and, of course, Louie. Welcome to you guys as well. We're going to have a great show for you all today. We're going to send you off into the weekend. We're going to talk about the markets. But before we can discuss, macro data, and most importantly, what it means for risk assets like crypto, I'm going to ask if you guys can hit that like button for us. Slam the like button if you are frustrated with Jerome Powell. The like button. Jerome Powell is doing a good job and you want to hit the like as a sign of approval, do that as well. But regardless, guys, we always are very appreciative when you hit the like button. And of course, you help us continue to bring you guys this content throughout the week. So without further ado, let's get into, everything that's happening in the market today. Quite a bit of red as equities. At one point today, we're almost down, minus 2% on the day. We got a very negative NFP print, I believe, which kind of shows that the economy is in fact weakening, which is kind of in direct contrast with what Jerome Powell discussed on Wednesday for why he was not going to cut rates, was that the economy was very strong. They wanted to get data from basically December. I mean, it's kind of perfectly in line with the too late Powell tagline that seems to have now been assigned to Jerome. But yeah, we're seeing some red today. Are we going to get a bounce back, or are we going to continue selling? These are things that we're going to discuss on today's show. But yeah, I mean, it's hard to believe that I have a hard time believing, rather, that this saga is over. Rather, it seems like we're kind of approaching this inflection point within it where, we've created a problem, right? Rates probably do need to come down given the data that we got today. And we have an obvious potential solution here coming in a few weeks. The next time Jerome Powell speaks, will he bend the knee a little bit and start to cut rates? What does that mean for the market? And of course, what does that mean for crypto, which Bitcoin traded below its 115K low today? Honestly, you don't love to see that, but not necessarily damning, right? It will be very interesting, I think, to see what Bitcoin does here over the next 1 to 2 weeks, and obviously what that means for altcoins. I mean, ETH is fairly overextended. That's kind of a meme to say, though, and as far as crypto goes, because we know how momentum tends to function in this asset class. But yeah, I mean, unsurprisingly, we're seeing a red day for alts after the kind of economic slate. I know how much we hate it, though, when when it seems like the macro is what's really moving the market rather than just kind of trading without that in mind. But yeah, I'd love to know what you guys are thinking about the markets throughout this week. I feel like we have kind of a lot to cover today, not just potential economic ramifications for kind of what occurred this week, but also what it means for the coins going forward. I think we're headed for a very interesting end of Q3 now. And I'd love to know kind of how you guys are viewing everything.
Well,
nah.
Max,
Nah.
he's done.
Nah. I'm good.
Oh man, Louis, is it over?
I've been saying for weeks it's over, guys. What are you talking about?
How could it be over if it never truly began? Is what I don't get.
That's true. Well, for one, yesterday was the last day of a month, right? Historically, we see a lot of price shenanigans last day of the month. Obviously, we have Jerome Powell and Trump having a piece of deal measuring contest, right? They're just both being stubborn. The data we got this morning, obviously very clear that, Jerome Powell keeps saying labor market strong, economy strong. I don't know much about macroeconomics and stuff like that. I'm more of just a price action analyst. And it's been very obvious to me that the economy has been slowing, the labor market's getting weaker, but every month after month, he keeps coming up there and saying that everything's strong and looking great. That's obviously not true, right? That's not obviously not true, especially with the data we've seen today. But again, I kind of I agree with Tommy, right? This is just an issue that will likely get solved. Pretty much odds are now highly increasing that the Fed's going to have to cut rates. That's a great catalyst for risk assets. We haven't needed it thus far. As far as Bitcoin's concerned, altcoins looking like they might need that, right? Other than having some pops here and there in altcoins, but listen, on days like today and yesterday, like I don't really make any major decisions during these super volatile situations. I kind of just sit back, let the dust settle, let it play out. It's going to be volatile, and I personally don't make any knee-jerk reactions to my overall portfolio or anything like that. So kind of just in wait and see mode here. ETH still highly elevated. In the grand scheme of things, due for a pullback. S&P, NASDAQ, they were due for a pullback. Looks like we're getting a nice steep correction here. I personally would rather rip the Band-Aid off drop like we're seeing today versus a multi-week kind of pullback and bleed out of equities and crypto. So we're seeing that all kind of healthy stuff as far as equity markets are concerned. And as far as altcoins, in the grand scheme of things, not down as bad as you would think, likely because they've already been bleeding and pretty much kind of front running this sell-off over the last week or so. So although we're seeing some red across the board, altcoins not down as bad as you would think in this type of environment. So right now, nothing has changed in my eyes. I still think we're coming into the tail end of this cycle where we see Bitcoin put in its final leg to the upside, and altcoins appreciate in a very quick fashion. But just another, wrench thrown into the machine here before getting there. So that's really kind of how I feel about this going on right now.
Yeah.
I mean, we're having our first correction in equities basically since the lows.
Yeah, it has
no idea how long it's going to last, what the real implications are. It's hard to really know what the implications are until we get a better feel for what August is going to look like, and how equities continue to kind of digest this week. But I do want to reiterate, I think we have created a problem, which every problem has a solution. And that's typically, if that solution can be found, if we can find the end to the problem we create, to the open-ended problem that we kind of created this week, you'd have to think the market will likely bounce from that.
Yeah, I'd agree. I mean, I think with the print we got today, and we were talking about this before the show, Jerome Powell had that data in front of him yesterday, and he still decided not to cut. So I don't know exactly why. I would say the data we got today is definitely indicative that we're probably going to cut in September, or are more likely to. But yeah, I mean, I agree, Tom. Now we do have the unemployment issue is now an issue after they did that massive revision, right? So that's another issue that we need to solve. But I don't think there's any reason that he shouldn't cut in September. Clearly he should have cut yesterday, honestly. After the data we got today, clearly yesterday should have been a cut.
Or gave some sort of guidance. Well, we're considering it, right? He didn't even do that. He's been very stubborn on this thing. Obviously, likely because of Trump and how he's, or maybe not. Who knows, right? Supposedly he's not political yet, but the only two times he's cut rates so far was right before going into the election, right? But now cutting rates makes no sense. But
how could you suggest something like that? How could you suggest that he's influenced or politically motivated?
Yeah,
that is an insane thing to suggest. It doesn't. He's just too slow. He's just a little slow. That's all. He's just too slow, Jerome. Just your good old neighborhood too slow, Jerome.
Yeah. Trump should have been telling him not to cut this whole time. He probably would have cut.
A little reverse psychology, Louis.
Yeah. King Louis. Thank you for that.
Oh, yeah. I didn't even see that. Very nice.
That's my alter ego, by the way. I don't know if you guys knew that.
Yeah. The third. Yeah, this chart's going not the correct direction that we need it to.
Well, I mean, again, like it's been climbing in a V-shaped recovery off the lows for what, since April? So we're in August. What is that, like 2-3 months now? Equities were due, right? And like even if you look back to COVID, like because this has been almost identical to that COVID V recovery, like you still do have pullbacks along the way, right? This kind of looks like that first pullback we saw out of that COVID pullback on the Russell. You know, I'm not too concerned about it. Like equities were due, and we've seen instances where equities have pulled back, and crypto and Bitcoin have done well during those pullbacks, right? So again, this is a wait and see type day. I personally wouldn't be making any drastic decisions as far as your portfolio or anything like that if you didn't do it yesterday, right? I'm more of like a wait and see. Let the dust settle. Let's see what we get. You can get big bounces. You're going to get a lot of volatility. I would just, that's kind of how I look at it and how I treat these scenarios. So you're always better off waiting for the dust to settle. And supposedly we have some big announcement out of the White House today, right? That we haven't gotten yet. So who knows? Supposedly we're supposed to get one.
Oh,
so
good.
Who knows what
big
that
announcements. Is. That's great.
Yeah.
Great news.
So, but yeah, I think it was like close to $1 billion worth of leverage flushed out the market this morning. So y'all got issues.
The thing I don't love about this morning is the look of the Coinbase chart. I can't believe how hard that puked.
Well, they big miss on earnings, and then plus the rest of the market tanking. That they got the double fuck.
But here's the thing: is Coinbase looks bad, but if you look at the Coinbase, like look at like Bitcoin coin, like the pair charts, they all look completely bottomed. Like all crypto asset pairs look really, really bottomed against coin, in my opinion.
That's good.
Like Tucker, maybe you could just maybe you could be a gentleman and a scholar and make a pair for us.
Coin, Bitcoin.
I like to do the crypto asset first.
You like
like that looks bullish to me, right? Yeah. So it's like coin is puking, right? But I generally think that crypto looks pretty bullish against coin. And even though coin moved hard recently, not a whole lot followed it. ETH followed it, but that's kind of about it. Mm-hmm. It was a pretty isolated Ethereum rally. I would have expected, given historical correlations, I would have expected a little bit more respect from crypto following in coin's footsteps on that last rally, but it just didn't, and that's okay, but I think maybe this flush on coin was just maybe things got a little frothy, got a little out in front of our skis, a little bit too quick, a little bit too early, unlike Chairman Powell. Little quick, too quick coin. And
quick coin.
Yeah, we'll see.
What about HUD, man?
HUD doesn't look bad here.
Bitcoin over HUD.
Jeez.
Oh man.
Should have just been holding HUD.
Mm-hmm.
We picked the wrong asset class, guys. Time and time again, I say that. I've come to the conclusion that we made a grave mistake being in crypto all these years, man. We should have just been equity bros, I thought there was, more opportunity in crypto. Turns out all you had to do was just be an equity bro. Imagine that.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine that. Dude, we messed up. How's Bitcoin look like this against Hood? Bitcoin against Coin looks like shit. You know, Bitcoin Nvidia looks like shit, dude. Looks terrible. We're all hanging on to the hope that it suddenly hits parabola again. You know, looks terrible, bro.
On Nvidia,
dude, charted against any of the Mag 7, it looks terrible. Like, I don't know. I'm just like, what are we doing here? You know, like, what the fuck are we doing here? All right, that's actually pretty good.
pretty nice. That's pretty nice.
I was charting against like the
That's
entire
Bitcoin
Mag
and
7.
Amazon?
Yeah.
I didn't
That's
realize Amazon was such a dog.
What about Apple?
Microsoft.
Oh, that looks good.
All right, not too bad. I've been charting against the whole index. I guess I didn't realize how much Nvidia has been dragging the whole thing up, but
It's
Yeah,
all
but I haven't owned Bitcoin in like a year.
dude, okay, hang on. Tate thinks I'm being sarcastic. Dude, I'm literally dead serious right now that if we had just been trading like no crypto and only stocks for the past 2 years, do you know how much better things would have been? Like objectively, Bitcoin has done well, you know? But like look at what stocks have been doing, the volatility that stocks have been giving. Small cap companies like playing options, dude. Like my best trade this year is I bought some QQQ 600s at, you know, on the April 7th low, you know. I'm not even being sarcastic. Like I'm saying it. I'm crying through the smile is what you, it's not sarcasm. It's the truth. It's like, dude, crypto has been just shit for so long, you know, and like stocks have been doing totally fine. I don't know. Just being objective, you know. I hope that one day things turn around, but
I mean, historically, crypto is like the finale, right? Like crypto doing well, but like, yeah.
where?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
I'm saying like, as far as market cycles are concerned, usually crypto and low caps are the last to run. Like we've just recently started seeing low cap stocks kind of do well, but they've been doing horrible for the last year or so.
Yeah.
And that's why, I mean, I still am a believer that we're going to see it, right? But this is just another monkey wrench thrown at our heads here as the redheaded stepchild of the investment world, I guess. But I mean, we've been through worse, guys. Let's be real. It's just it gets a little tiring, right? But we've been through way worse. We've been through wars. We've been through worldwide tariff war escalation. You know, like it is what it is. It's just part of the game here. Did we fully fill that CME gap on Bitcoin?
Yeah, we must. I mean,
We
let's
did.
see. We definitely did.
We should definitely bounce now into
Yeah.
into Monday.
I agree.
Fully filled it.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, I would have rather not filled it. I thought that would have been a great breakaway gap there, show of strength. But it just seems every time Bitcoin has a big move, it trades sideways for multiple weeks on end.
Mm-hmm.
You seem upset about that, Louis. I don't understand why.
It's frustrating.
It's great.
It's frustrating. But, I mean, you know, yeah, that's what it is. Hitting one-off winners here and there has definitely helped along the way, for sure.
ETH is going to leave this gap, though. I'll tell you what.
It better.
It better. Yeah. Better.
I just hope ETH's not like lagging Coinbase.
Tommy.
I'm just posing a possibility.
No, Tommy's right. Tommy's right. It probably is. It
has to
probably
hit.
is.
Well, then it has to hit all-time highs first, then nuke.
No,
That's what
it just
Coinbase
needs
did.
no. You see, Louis, you still don't get it. So let me explain it to you. We don't follow structurally and make higher highs, but we do follow structurally to the downside and make nukes and lower lows. You just don't get it. You don't get it that we don't get to benefit in any of the prosperity and only the carnage. And that's what you don't get, is that we will follow this to the downside and nuke. We just won't go as high to the upside first.
We get all the shit, but none of the glory.
Exactly. So now you're starting to understand why Tommy's actually right. We will nuke super hard, and we won't follow to the upside, but we will follow to the downside. And I've come to that conclusion after months and months of watching it happen, where we wait for the catch-up trade. Sometimes it happens, most times it doesn't. And then some alpha nukes. And furthermore, sometimes it happens on the weekend when stocks aren't even open and we're the only market open to sell off, and we sell off before there's a resolution Sunday night,
Yeah.
So, I think, lower your targets, man. Like, as low as you can put them. Just like, if your target is here, I would just drop it even lower, just to be safe,
Okay, so not here.
even lower. The lowest you can think of. I don't even think that's low enough. Dude, there's no newbies coming into the stream, bro. This is a bunch of guys that have been through 18 months of like carnage that are still showing up. You understand? There's no newbies. All of you watching right now are the Randy Marsh meme that are like, I didn't hear no bell. That's what's left.
Yeah.
That's all that there is here. There's no newbies. There's nobody. That's it. Everybody's been carted out because nobody owned Bitcoin this cycle. That's it. Like, let's be honest about it. Like, what are we pretending for? Not a single soul in here owned more than 10% of their portfolio in Bitcoin this entire cycle.
Bitcoin puppets count?
I did.
Besides Louis.
Puppets count.
Do puppets count?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I own some puppets. I think
My
they're actually
puppet.
up too, which is funny.
They are green over the last like 2 or 3 weeks.
Are they?
They're still like down horrendously, but
That's our risk on indicator, Tommy.
Was NFTs pumping a little bit over the last couple of days, the top signal?
Yes, for sure, Louis. Absolutely, bro. Like, you don't have to ask, Like, dude, you've been around for a while, Louis. I'm done trying to pretend like it's all good, and it's not good, bro. MSTR looks cooked here. Coinbase dropped 16% in a day. What are we talking about here, man? We need QE. We need lower interest rates. We've got the president of the U.S. and the chairman of the Federal Reserve beefing. And it's like, what are we supposed to do? Every week there's a new tariff thing that throws us off, or some Saturday escalation where only crypto can get pummeled.
Mm-hmm.
Russell's getting hammered today. I don't think it's going to make a new all-time high till at least Q4. It's like, what are we doing? I don't know. I'm just going to sit here and wait, but it's like, we've had our chances. We've had our chances, and we've been unable to capitalize. There's not enough buyers, not enough volume. No, it's not over. It's just like genuinely nothing ever happens, and nothing's going to happen for a little bit here. So
yeah,
that's all good. Just get used to this, You can follow Louis for your optimism. I'm now realistic Max.
Realistic.
Done.
I got a little bit left in the tank.
My tank's empty. It's done. I've had it. I've completely had it. Watching everybody, shill new garbage again as soon as we start pumping, it's just like, man, people just never learn, It's the same death cycle we've been in for 2 years. Market moves up a little bit. Alts get destroyed. People launch new shit coins. People shill new shit coins. Everybody vampire attacks their own projects and their own bags without even realizing it. Alts get hammered even more. Wintermute is fucking Pepe again. You know, it's like, what are we doing here, man? Well, it's the same nightmare every week. So we're just gonna wait until it happens, because eventually it will happen and it's gonna be great. But you know, we had a clear loss of momentum here, so we'll have to see if Bitcoin can pull a miracle out here pretty soon. But someone on this panel tell me if I'm wrong. I genuinely, I want to know if I'm seeing it the way that it is, or if I'm having a half crash out right now. Someone can tell me, please.
I mean, maybe just a half crash out, man.
Damn it, Tucker. It's not a crash out, bro. I'm right.
Just a half. No, you're not wrong. I'm not saying you're wrong.
No, I'm kidding. So would you call this a micro crash out, maybe?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Should I up it a bit? Should I lean into it and fully crash out?
No.
Should I save that for next week?
Yeah, that's a next week thing.
Next week on Market Check.
It's just me, only me on here, just like going on like a 2-hour diatribe about the market. No charts, just zoomed in on my face for 2 hours.
I mean, total still at above all-time highs. Like, I don't.
For now.
Is it a deviation?
How about that?
You still think that that's support? It's so adorable, you know. Why would that be support when you could easily sweep the equal lows at $800? You know, I just don't get it.
Are you saying we're gonna get another sweep of the lows?
No, I'm not. I'm saying we're gonna sweep every single low on the chart, not just the lows, every single sweep.
You guys don't like this line? It's a good line right here.
Hot knife through butter. Okay, hot knife through butter.
We're not touching that.
Hot knife through butter through this level.
What would that be? Like back to 3K?
You are about to see the first ever octuple top for Ethereum.
Dude, I saw someone say the quadruple top is in. It's over.
No, it's not a quadruple. Go back to last cycle. Tucker, extend that line to the left. This is the 7th tag on 4K. 7th tag, I'm pretty sure.
This was
Went to church on Sunday and prayed for the ETH septuple top.
Yeah. Is that how you'd say it? The septuple or septuple top?
This was 7. Yeah, this was 7.
Yeah. So this is now the first ever in the history of investing septuple top. Okay.
Welcome to hell, motherfucker.
There's no double top. There's only septuple tops. Okay. This is the first time ever. This is what we get in crypto is the septuple top. Dude, I'm done cheerleading my bags. You want me to cheerlead my bags? I'm out of cheer. Okay. I'm now fudding my own. I won't sell my bags. Don't worry. I promised I'd never dump on you guys. Okay. And I will not dump my bags on you, but I will fud my own bags now. I'm done cheerleading for them. They don't deserve my cheer. They're going to get fudded. They won't get sold. They're going to get fudded. And see, this is what we're looking for here. This is the truth, is that you know what I'm saying deep down in your heart, in your core, is it's how you're feeling as well. And it's like 95% truth, 5% like being a little bit dramatic, right? But a lot of it is rooted in truth.
Yeah.
So you're hearing this and you're like, finally, like all of my inner thoughts are coming out today on Market Check. I'm not alone, right?
Is that a bottom signal though?
No, this is the top forever. There's no exit pump.
There is no exit pump.
No.
I mean, keep doing this though. I think this is good.
Hang on, is this true, Tommy? Tommy, do you have anything you'd like to say?
Yeah, I've got currently a 3 billion notional ETH short going right now. On my first account.
Tommy is the septuple top shorter.
The ETH asks you've been hearing about all week are just me. Sorry.
But Tommy, what do you say about this? Come on.
I mean, it should break through on the fourth tap, or like high time frame fourth tap. We could have some fuckery around here, I guess, but I mean, we'll see.
There you go.
I could see Bitcoin dominance obviously making that last stab up. What's it doing today?
Bouncing.
This is a dead cat bounce.
I could see it make one more cycle high, but then I think it's ogre for Bitcoin dominance.
Bitcoin dominance is going to 100%. You want to know why? Because all your alts are going to go to zero, and Bitcoin will be left.
Tommy, did you just say a new cycle high?
Yeah, I could see it.
Really?
It doesn't have to happen.
There's no shot.
I mean, that would imply that the ETH BTC bottom is not in.
That's the part that I can't really reconcile with.
Because that chart looks bottomed as bottom could be. But, you know, you are right. We could nuke again. Just, you know, keep it on theme for the show. I'm fine with the bottom not being in. I'd say there's some equal lows from 2016 that could be taken out. So, but do you really think that this chart could turn around right here and make a new low, or somehow, some way, Bitcoin dominance moves up?
No, I'm really not an ETH BTC bear, but I could see alts pulling back. Obviously, if Bitcoin wants to keep, bleeding. I mean, we know how alts tend to just cliff dive when Bitcoin does absolutely nothing but go up. So, I mean, you're either looking at a complacency here before we head probably aggressively lower, or you're looking for maybe one more higher high on Bitcoin dominance before just years of down only. I mean, I think both realistically imply that we're very close to a broader altcoin rotation. You just need to make sure that all USD structures don't get bludgeoned to death before that happens.
Yeah, I mean, I still think EBTC is probably coming into like 04 before a real pullback, but like, give me this, and then that would be fine. That would be fine.
I will say, I think the fact that you have MicroStrategy now unable to keep buying Bitcoin without having to sell stock means that you should see Bitcoin dominance be topping here. Like, contextually speaking, beyond just the price action, you know, who else is going to be buying Bitcoin other than like a government?
Companies in the Russell that want to pump. Clearly,
it didn't really work for GME. I mean, I'm still a GME bull. I think it has a good shot. It did pump off the initial news and then nuked. But what if like a Mag 7 company, right? Like, I just don't know if they're going to buy at these prices, right? That might be like a post cycle top theme we see.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
This chart is the most concerning chart in crypto for me because of how similar it looks to last cycle's top. And we saw a very clear divergence structurally between Bitcoin making a high time frame higher high and MSTR making a lower high. I genuinely, this is the part that spooks me the most out of everything. But at the same time, this was one theory that I mentioned to you guys maybe like 3 weeks ago. Like, what if we just had a full-on Bitcoin cycle and we're about to have like a full-on separate ETH cycle, right? And that doesn't mean Bitcoin nukes or something like that, but dramatic underperformance, and like Bitcoin is more or less topped out and MSTR is more or less topped out. but we still have like a full blown ETH adoption cycle now. Cause like this is the Bitcoin adoption cycle. What if it's just like 100% ETH from here on out and Bitcoin just kind of ranges and doesn't do much? Because this chart is telling a different story than like what spot Bitcoin is, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, if Bitcoin dominance is already topped, we should see something like that, Max, where we see a larger scale distribution of Bitcoin into altcoins, chasing those gains. And then eventually you'll probably get like a huge Bitcoin puke, because that's what always happens when Bitcoin dominance nukes like that. But I think that would be the altcoin optimist view here, right? Is that Bitcoin is probably topping out. You're running out of buyers. MSTR has got that divergence now clearly the same way that it did in the last cycle. You should, in theory, be seeing ETH and altcoins start to perk up here.
Yeah, like we talked about, ETH BTC looks way more like 2017 than it does last cycle.
Yeah, the entire cycle has
that.
I need MSTR to go and make a new high. Like I cannot live with that chart in its current state and be overwhelmingly bullish Bitcoin. Like
of this.
But also, like, you have to, I mean, like, a factor that you have to consider is like there's many other companies buying Bitcoin that you could buy. There's also many other companies buying ETH now. So I feel like that's taking a lot of the market share away from MicroStrategy as well. But I agree. That's why, like, when you guys were like a little bearish on MicroStrategy, I'm like, that's not good then in my eyes.
And by the way, that's true, Louis, but it's like MSTR holds like 3% of the Bitcoin supply or something like that. They carry so much more weight than the other ones.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Like, who's the next largest holder of Bitcoin that's like a treasury company besides MSTR? They probably own, I don't even know. I mean, a fraction of what MSTR does, but
Planet or something.
But I don't know who it is even. Somebody maybe in the comments would know, but
if that's in theory about or what's about to happen, I mean, should we look at ETH in the 2017, 2018 cycle to see if there are any similarities with the way it's trading now?
Between ETH and what? MSTR?
No, not MSTR.
Pull up ETH down below the Bitcoin chart, Tucker, on the right side.
I need
I will say the thing that worries me about MSTR is that, yeah, they have to sell their shares now, their stock shares, if they want to buy more Bitcoin.
So it's bearish for the stock.
It is bearish for if he wants to keep buying BTC, and if he has consistently been the bidder of last resort, and he probably will have to be the bidder of last resort again. You kind of have like, why isn't MSTR trading drastically lower within 6 months? I was looking at the puts for MSTR for even like a month out. They are juiced. So I think the market's kind of already caught on.
Didn't they start like another shell company that's buying Bitcoin as well of some sort? Or did I make that up?
Maybe. I don't know.
2017.
I feel like I remember reading something about that because they probably saw that they were running into that issue. Yeah, I mean, they might be out of juice.
Because I think you could make the argument here for ETHUSD if you really believe the cycle is going to play out very similarly to 2017, 2018, that ETH in theory should be going parabolic over the next few weeks if Bitcoin is topped.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's true. You had like a month in 2017. Where's Bitcoin?
I mean, let's be clear here. ETH is still up massively from where it was a couple weeks ago and still hasn't given back a lot of that pump. So let's be, I think it still is gonna do that. Like you got equal highs at 4K. We're just below range highs. There's no way in my mind that we do not crack 4K. On that crack of 4K, likely some unwind of short leverage, whatever. That takes us to all-time highs. Maybe then we get that bigger, scary rejection. I mean, nothing has changed for me here right now.
You had a full month. You had a full month in 2017 from when Bitcoin topped to when ETH topped.
Yeah.
So
Bitcoin looks a little 3-drivey, right? Like it always does on the low time frame before reversal. Sometimes they go for a 4th drive. So hopefully not, but I don't know. This is how I've been the whole way up, so I'm not gonna lose hope here. I'm not doing it. And again, alts really made minor fresh new lows this morning, right? But some haven't even made new lows this morning. So I feel like we're kind of in that territory where, similar to March and April, where alts were bleeding for months, Bitcoin finally kind of puked that final puke. Alts dropped, but they didn't really drop as much because they already had front ran that full puke and they were bleeding for months. Like the sellers were already out right before that final big kind of volatility event. And that's where we've seen the reversals out of altcoins this entire cycle, right? Even though short-lived, and it could take some time, right? It doesn't mean tomorrow or, the next day. But I mean, I just feel as if altcoins are relatively ready to swing back the other way sometime within the next couple of weeks, especially the way ETH looks.
I'm very interested to see how the next few weeks resolve. I mean, it's kind of like the most interesting market backdrop I can remember since maybe like the beginning of the year. Where if things are, I mean, maybe things are late cycle. Obviously, I have been pretty adamant against the 4-year cycle theory. But if it is going to respect the 4-year cycle, you should be seeing ETH move, and altcoins for that matter, ETH adjacent, move very, very strongly here over the next few weeks. And then you probably want to get out in like September and October. Maybe nothing is going to happen and we do have the extended cycle. I still think that's a very real possibility, quite frankly. But I think a lot of things. I would say the fact that the move index is coming down is quite a bullish outcome. I don't know if it's what Powell intended necessarily, but I mean, for the longest time, we've been talking about TLT in the long end potentially blowing out because yields are going higher. Today's data was kind of in stark contrast of that.
I mean, the move index is just falling. Like this is great. We like.
What does this mean? What does this mean?
The bond market volatility is falling, which we want. It's usually a good sign. But yeah, let me look at TLT real quick.
TLT got a bid today, which makes sense, right? Bonds up on recession fears.
Yeah.
It's a good way to save treasuries.
I mean, the probabilities for the September meeting drastically changed this morning.
They jumped
25 basis point cut. I think they jumped from like maybe around 40% chance of a 25 basis point to like maybe, I think it was like 70. I don't have it in front of me, but I mean, that's in one way maybe bullish, right? Now it's like, okay, we're going to get a cut, right? We're going to get a cut in September, so maybe we start to price that in. But yeah, I mean, that September, it's August, we got plenty of time, so we have a month and a half.
Yeah, it's 80.9% chance right now.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
So it's moving up throughout the day. It's
So it's either the market like forward looking front runs that and on that potential, or we have a August worth like that's just absolute crap up and leading up into it. One or the other.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know. I mean, markets are inherently forward looking, but again, we haven't like every meeting for the past 3 or 4 meetings. Everyone's like, yeah, he's got to talk about cutting rates, so he's going to cut rates. And it's just like 3 or 4 in a row where he just hasn't budged. So I don't know how confident the market would be in front running that, you know? In my eyes, if he doesn't at this point, like he's really going to ruin his reputation. After doing he has done a pretty decent job, even though he caused the issue, he kind of made, did the best he could to fix it. But now he's kind of going back to like, he's just not making a move when he should be. So I don't know. Not my specialty anyways, but.
Too late, Powell. I mean, you kind of do have an excuse. I mean, I know he can't. He's not technically legally allowed to do so, but I do think you kind of have some pretext to try and fire him now.
Like data coming in clearly that's not good and coming out blatantly saying everything looks strong. Like that's false. Like even when GDP was coming in negative, right? Or not, like a negative GDP, and he's coming out not mentioning negative GDP, saying the economy's strong. That was months ago. Like that's just ignoring the data to ignore it.
So Louis, we didn't have that data until today.
No, I'm talking about GDP. Like GDP was negative 2 meetings ago.
Oh yeah.
And he came out that following meeting like a week later after a negative GDP print, saying that the economy's strong. Like, how are you going to do that? And no one even asked him the question about the GDP, which made no sense to me either. So the signs have been there. Like, I'm not a macro expert whatsoever. I strictly look at price. I can care less about all that crap. Doing this for so long, you learn along the way. Like the signs were clear that the economy was slowing down a bit with those negative GDP prints, and the economic data was slowing, right? And at this point, I think he's just in a pissing match. And he's honestly going to prove Trump right at this point.
Yeah, it's when we have a Fed that's supposed to be enacting monetary policy, it's like you can't be politicizing it. It's kind of the justification for why the Fed should be kept separate from the current administration. I don't want to make this like a political thing, but I do think you can't use it as a shield in both ways, right? Mm-hmm. Like, oh, the Fed is apolitical, so we shouldn't attack the Fed. But at the same time, the Fed is clearly in a drastic divergence with what the administration has been communicating. So there's clearly a political level to this. I don't know what the implications of it are ultimately going to be, but before this morning, I think you could always, of course, argue about the merit of whether a rate cut should come because of reaction to data, or if you should be proactive and try to, predict it a little bit more. And what I think you can't argue after this week is that clearly the Fed does have its own political incentives, and it is at the detriment to risk asset prices. I mean, let's just call it what it is.
Well, at least crypto stocks have been doing well.
Well, the Russell's still kind of a dog, but yeah, crypto and Russell 2000.
I really like this level for the Russell, though. Like this is where you should see it hold. Kind of need to back test this range we recaptured. If you pull it up on the daily, yeah,
this should be the fuel to go higher. This drop,
yeah, it needed it. It did. That's something I mentioned in the Discord over the last couple of weeks. Not saying I called this drop at all. Definitely didn't. But what I've been saying, as far as equities are concerned, that they've been looking like running pretty much in a V recovery for 3 months now. Like we were due for a pullback. But like you said, Max, these drops, especially these quick drops, like I love when I see a quick, vicious gap down drop like this. Because one, we don't have to wait around for weeks to let this slow grind to the downside. And two, it creates that juice to push us higher, right? Creates that liquidity. So honestly, I get excited on days like today. Oh, What was that?
Is that Tommy?
I don't know if it's worth punting some like super far out of the money ETH calls.
Like, how far out of the money are you talking about, Tommy?
I mean, I don't know. I'm literally just looking at the way ETH looks right now versus the way it looked before it ended up topping in 2017 to 2018. We should probably take a look at that.
Take a look.
I mean, all of the crypto longs are liquidated. I think it was over $1 billion worth of leverage liquidations this morning. Like, that's your perfect long entry on liquidations. Yeah, that's a big one. That was the biggest one in a while.
What?
2017, 2018.
What chart are we on? In the weekly?
I mean, I'm not on the weekly. I think you should probably get lower time frame than that. For the one on the right. Yeah, just like a daily will probably be fine. Because like, what are the odds that we're the first consolidation that you pointed at, Tucker? Like, what are the odds that we are right there on ETH? To play contrarian to my own bias, which is that we're going to have a longer cycle.
You talking about this?
Yeah.
Yeah, how quick did that happen?
That would be so epic, man.
That was a month. That was 1 month.
That was a month from that.
That was a month. It ripped 3x in a month.
I don't think you realize how back I would feel if that happened. It was just...
The light is already coming back into Max's eyes. I can see.
I know.
I'm much better to be around when I'm feeling optimistic and excited about the future.
I am happy and optimistic about the future.
I am pessimistic and bared up about the future. Unless that happens. If that happens, we are so back. It's going to be fun.
It has been written.
It was written in the stars. Where's he been lately? Where's Zoran been?
Who cares?
I think he got married.
So he retired? I haven't seen anything from him recently.
Come here. Stop it.
3x in a month. It'll be 10K. 10K by September 1st, Tommy.
I mean, I'm not going to stake my reputation on it, but if we're going to replicate that cycle, then maybe this is the time for that to happen.
You said 10K by what?
September 1st.
Of 2028 or?
Oh, no.
What are you talking about?
Talking about 3x in 35 days, Max.
Tucker, what are you talking about?
I'm just saying, this was Tommy's extrapolation right here, okay?
What about 0? Are you serious?
0 is also a distinct possibility.
Okay.
No, I'm kidding.
I'm buying calls, $8,000 calls, and simultaneously puts for 0.
Puts for
the ultimate spread.
Delta neutral.
He can't lose.
Can't lose.
Volatility incoming.
Dude,
I mean,
the Giga Chad Iron Condor trader, man. You just straddle it between 100K ETH and 0. The Giga Chad Iron Condor trader.
Ooh, I'm perfectly hedged. Ooh.
Yeah. Ooh, as long as ETH stays between 0 and 100K, I make money. Ooh. Yeah, the Giga Chad Iron Condor trader. You wouldn't get it.
Does look similar, Tommy. Does look similar.
I do really like September, October, November. That's kind of, if you still are following the normie Bitcoin cycle, that kind of puts the Bitcoin top around then. And then historically you get about a month or so after the Bitcoin top. So October, November. I like that time frame, at least maybe to start looking for a top of some sort, but not here, right? Like what top are we looking for? Altcoins haven't done anything, right? Unless they're never going to do anything again, right? Which could be a possibility, right? Who knows?
Now you're catching on, Louis. There you go. You're learning. You're a quick learner. I forgot how quick you were at learning. That's good. That's good.
I'm optimistic that we pump.
Yeah.
You know, whether that's going to be in the near term or whether that's going to be maybe after like an August refractory period, but I think everything but Sol is going to pump. Sorry, I had to throw that in there.
That's just funny the way you said it. I think everything but Sol is going to pump.
I don't see any reason why Sol is going to outperform.
I agree.
If the cycle is potentially over in a month or two, like Sol is absolutely not going to outperform.
I agree. I mean, Sol BTC, you've been right. We've been right. We've been fudding Sol BTC and Sol ETH for like 6 months now. So I don't know. I mean, here's the thing. I know there's been a lot of talk about a prolonged cycle. That's fine if that happens. Part of me would love to have a blow off and be done in 2 or 3 months. I don't care for a 6-year cycle, you know, like we're trying it. It sucks. It has not been fun. Bring back the speed run, you know, bring back the speed run where everybody just goes insane for like 90 days and they call for extended cycles, but then they don't get it.
I think it does make more sense for something like that to happen after one more blow off, right? Because at the end of the day, if I'm being honest, a lot of these altcoins deserve to actually die.
Call them out, Louis. Which ones?
Yeah, I'm not going to do that, but
name and shame.
and then the institutions step in, right? You get your crypto, you know, your altcoin ETFs. You get the institutional bid of stuff that actually has real world utility. Obviously, you have some meme coins sprinkled in there for the culture. And then the market becomes, you know, shrinks back to a normal, realistic size. Regulation goes up. The barrier to actually create altcoins becomes way more difficult than it is today, where like anyone could just go on the computer and launch a coin. That's not going to be a thing in the long term, right? But to me, this seems like we're already this far along. The regulation's not there yet. They're starting it. For me, this seems like the last hurrah for the crazy altcoin stuff before like the select are chosen, and then you know the walled garden is put up, and then you get that perpetual long-term extended type cycle. But I think that comes after one last bang for the altcoin market first. That's just my 2 cents, but I'm here for either. Regardless, I'm not going anywhere. So sadly,
remember, you're here forever.
Yeah.
He said sadly.
I love being disappointed. I'm a Jets fan as well. So, but I come back every year, and I'm a season ticket holder, right? So, but I still have fun with it.
Good for you, Louis. I love that.
I still hammer the money line.
I'm not a baseball guy, but do you know that maybe the worst baseball team ever is currently in my city?
What team is that?
The Rockies.
Oh, the Rockies.
They might be the worst baseball team ever. I'm dead. They won like their first home series of the year last weekend.
Really?
Wow. Yeah, and the All-Star break, for reference, was the week before.
I had no idea they were that bad. I knew they were bad, but I didn't know the worst team in baseball.
They might. I mean, before like the last few weeks, they were on track for the worst record in history.
Wow.
Jeez. Well, yeah. The Jets are on the longest playoff drought in NFL history, I think. So that's that.
I have a few other friends who are Jets fans too. I like the Jets, man, just because I don't really have a reason not to like them at this. I like the I like the rebranding they did, the color schematics. But yeah, I mean, the Jets have had a very interesting history for as long as I've known them. You haven't been to the playoffs since Mark Sanchez was quarterback, right?
Yeah. Yep.
I remember that.
2 back-to-back AFC championship years, and then haven't been back since. I think it's like 15 years, 14, 15 years, some of that.
Did you guys see this?
Sorry.
What is that?
That's how Jackus says target.
Dude, I want to get Jackus to an American football game. Yeah, that'd be so
fun. Oh, that would be a blast. Yeah.
Oh yeah. See, I love this comment too, because not only was I have been a Jets fan for this long, but I've also kind of been an XRP holder as well for that one. So at least I got my vindication on XRP. But yeah, I'm just one that sticks it out. I just stick it out, man. Tough times never last. So anyway,
it is funny how equities have really like blinked for the first time in ages, and everybody is just in a pure panic.
It's insane.
I mean, what? It's been like 2 months.
Yeah,
literally.
I mean, we were down here. I guess that was April.
It's been 4 months of up only. We bottomed in April. The S&P, beginning of April.
Same drop, man.
And I guarantee you people are still getting carted out on this move.
Man, I've been telling people not to be trading long leverage for the last 2 or 3 weeks, and everybody has been like insistent. And this is what has happened all cycle is you think you have a good dip because majors have theoretically set their local low, and then altcoins bleed another 10 to 20%. And you have to sit in that long and hope that you caught a bottom. And maybe you did, maybe you didn't. But we're at the part of the cycle where you shouldn't be needing levered longs for gains.
No, it's happening though because they don't buy the bottom because they're too scared to buy the bottom because they want more, confirmation. Then the market rips. They're stuck sidelined. So now in their mind, they think they need leverage to catch up off that difference versus buying on days like today. I was
gonna say that, Louis. Like I actually kind of think today would be the day to like buy the altcoin carnage. If you were gonna try to trade on leverage, I feel like this might be a decent day to try.
Yeah, I mean over almost $1 billion worth of liquidations in less than 24 hours. Like at least we're gonna at least get a bounce.
Spike, small caps hammered. Alt's been bleeding all week. FOMC catalyst, tariff catalyst. It's kind of like this is probably that escalation point to if you wanted to try. Now you step in. You know, I mean, you're fine if you were holding like 2x. You know, like super low leverage, but yeah, if you were trading, 10x, you're cooked. You got carted out. I think our insider, Mr. Wynn, got carted out again.
Yeah. So I think most people, where they make the mistake with leverage is they think about it from the lens of, okay, well, this much leverage will allow me to take or 10x leverage, I can take as much size as possible with 10x rather than using leverage as a tool to be capitally efficient. And I think it just kind of comes down to how you define your risk. I've talked about this a lot. It's like you should be building your trade out from how much you can lose, not how much you think you can gain.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
But nobody thinks like that. Nobody thinks like that. The green P&Ls are too attractive.
Yeah, I think Wynn got carted out on a Pepe long, so that actually might be good for Pepe.
Of course he did.
So funny.
Of course he did.
Dude, I don't know what happened there. It's just crazy.
At least we're not him, right? It always could be worse, guys. You have to remember that. It always could be worse. You could have just lost an $85 million fortune in just a couple months.
Dude, that's so much money.
He's still losing money, man. He clearly has even more money than we know. He got liquidated for like $1 million today. Everybody thought he lost everything like 2 or 3 weeks ago.
I don't understand that, man. Like, he had so much money. I don't know where he's still getting the money from. I don't.
Money laundering. I've been saying it.
I don't think he's, dude, I genuinely think he's, no. I don't even want to dissect it on show because I don't want this shit clipped because I don't want him yapping at me. But it's like, dude, he probably makes a lot of money from his huge Twitter following now. You know, like that's an asset for him. He probably just takes deals and gets, you know, reffling shit. You know, he probably makes a lot of money from that.
Liquidating capital is the best way to launder money. I mean, that's not me saying that. That's what North Korea did.
How does that work?
Don't take my word for it. Take North Korea.
Like, I'm not the one doing it, but I remember when North Korea did it through Hyperliquid, everybody fudded my hype bags. When they were like, oh, they're trying to exploit Hyperliquid. No, they were just trying to launder money.
How does that work though?
Asking for a friend, Louis, right?
Oh my god.
Hey, if somebody wanted to launder some money, I just hypothetically, how would you do it?
Walk me through the process.
Yeah, just tell me, just so I know not to do it. What would it be?
It basically gives the illusion that the money's gone, when in reality, like, you probably have some other proxies that are benefiting from the liquidations.
So they have shorts running elsewhere, but they're liquidating their longs or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. I mean, that's usually why people will launder money through meme coins.
I wish some people would launder them into my meme coins and pump them. Where do I find these guys? I'd love to have a discussion.
James Wynn is actually drunk.
It's actually Baron.
Could see that.
Yeah, I mean, I know I was joking about the ETH calls, but I might have punted some on show.
I love it.
What are we talking? 6,000, 7,000? What are we talking, Tommy?
8,000.
8,000.
No, I'm assuming I just threw away 1 ETH, but I had to take
the eyebrow.
Tommy.
I'm assuming I just threw the capital away, but like I had to take the shot.
So you're playing the 8,000 strike for end of the year?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Not for end of the year, for end of September, but
Oh my goodness, Tommy.
like I said, I probably just threw away 1 ETH, but the payout is actually like kind of absurd.
Okay, so if you're in the money by end of September, what's the payout?
In the money, I don't know about in the money, but if it's a 10,000 by the end of September, that's $1 million.
So 3,000 to $1 million, or 3,600 to $1 million.
Yeah.
Dude, see, that's not a bad bet though. Like once in a while, you got to take those plays because you try enough of them, you know, you'll hit one once in a while. It's like the side bet at the casino when you're playing blackjack. You gotta play it once in a while. It's fun to play them. I mean, I did the same thing. I mean, not quite as aggressive, but like in April, I bought a bunch of QQQ 600s, like towards the bottom of the nuke. And they're up like 10x right now. And I just put a little bit of money into them. And I'm just still holding them because I'm optimistic they could actually be in the money. But like you gotta play those like really far out of the money calls sometimes, or the nuke puts, you know. I actually don't I don't hate the strategy. I think you're gonna lose your money, but it's like if you don't, You know, congratulations.
Yeah.
You know, it's gonna be awesome. You're probably still gonna owe me a steak dinner, but you know, you'll have the money to pay it.
I'm okay with that. If I owe you the steak dinner from that context, that would be great.
Yeah, because what would EPTC be at, Tommy?
High.
I mean, it would
It'd be
be
very high.
It'd probably be at the highs, or probably, yeah, like range high. There's no way Tommy makes money on those calls without ETH BTC being at like 0.1. There's just no way.
That's true.
There's no way.
It's absolutely true. They probably will go to 0, but you know, I've got some puts that I rotated profits from into those calls. So, you know, I'm basically using money I didn't have yesterday. So
I like the bet, man. You got to take those swings once in a while. When you feel like the market is so materially offsides for a big catalyst, whether it's like a pump or I guess downside, whatever it may be, you gotta take some of those swings, man. Like, I like it, actually. I probably would have liked the like 6,000 strike more. 8 seems a little aggressive, but
it seems a bit aggressive, yeah.
just a little bit.
But I don't hate it. I mean, even if ETH is at 5K by like middle, I mean, let's just say 5K by like middle of this month. Like if we bust through the all-time high, you're probably going to be, you know, up on those aggressively. And you could shave it, take your principal back, leave the rest, you know, then you have a free YOLO into the end of September. I don't mind the strategy, actually.
Just keep rolling it, Tommy. Just roll it until it hits.
I'm not going to keep rolling it. I probably won't do that. But I don't know. We'll see what we get.
Yeah.
I can just keep shorting Sol as a hedge.
You definitely could.
Let's see what else is interesting in the slate today. What do we think of Hyperliquid here?
I think it looks awkward, but I'm still not bearish hype.
It's a weird chart.
Like, I think if you just keep it really simple and you just mark out higher highs, higher lows, and just ignore how grindy the structure looks, I wouldn't be bearish the structure too quickly. This could very, very much so resolve in like one of those blast off teleportation type of structures. Yeah. But it's super awkward. Like, it's an incredibly weird looking chart. Like, I wouldn't want to be trading this chart, but
yeah, that doesn't look the best. I can't even lie. 0. It's kind of like BNB a little bit. Increasingly more like BNB.
From last cycle or this cycle?
Yeah.
Both.
From last cycle.
Yeah.
The range it had to incubate in for a pretty long time. All right. I think that's a pretty good spot to wrap up the show, guys. Today had a little bit of everything, obviously dissecting the jobs data that we had today as well as the week that was. But we hope that you enjoyed the show. And a reminder that Market Check will be live next Monday. We are live Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. and with our typical start time around 11:15 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you enjoyed the show, we hope that we hope that we see you again. Hit the like button on your way out, subscribe if you haven't already, but also make sure to tune in for our other programming, which is, obviously Market Talk, hosted by the legendary King Wabi. We had a Mega Spaces Market Talk yesterday. We'll probably be doing more of those going forward, so keep an eye out for that. But Wabi does his show pretty much daily. So just check in with the Because Bitcoin account so you could be notified, not just when he schedules those spaces, but of course also when he goes live. Also make sure to check out Ape Time with BB. That is our Thursday show. We ran Mega Spaces in lieu of Ape Time yesterday, but make sure to continue to check out Ape Time going forward, which is our obviously a little bit more degenerate show. We love the volatility, and we have a lot of fun doing it. So check that out as well, guys. Before I can let you officially run, though, we're going to play a quick commercial for the BB terminal. If each season, if on-chain is potentially about to heat back up, there is no better place or no better tool to use rather than our brand new DGen tab on BB Terminal. So check that out, guys. It is an upgrade on Deck Screener. And I'll just let you guys try out the product. How about that? It's it kicks ass, and honestly, it is a great replacement for your Deck Screener if you're looking for something that can provide you with the same accessibility to on-chain data, but also with added features, indicators, and potential tools to be able to conquer those markets. So check that out, guys. We appreciate you being here. Like I said, we'll be back next week, but until then, thank you again for tuning in, and of course, stay safe.
Tired of outdated trading tools, confused charts, dozens of tabs, endless stress? You're not alone. Introducing BB Terminal, your all-in-one command center for crypto trading. Track your portfolio, monitor the markets, stay ahead, all in one place. From chaos to clarity, from struggle to success. BB Terminal,